With the far right on the rise in Germany, is freedom of art under threat?
As cultural practitioners and artists, we can say that we are now genuinely afraid.
Anti-German art is German art that doesn't want to be German.
Resist the beginnings, but where are they? Are we in the middle of it? Is this the beginning, or is it still before?
Resist the beginnings. Germans are deeply familiar with this idea. After the horrors of the Nazi era, the generations that followed were urged to speak out against threats to democracy before it's too late. Today, polls suggest that the far-right party Alternative for Germany, or AfD, could for the first time lead a state government in the eastern German state of Saxony-Anhalt. One of the AfD's priorities, to radically change the cultural landscape.
We declared in our government programme that we no longer intend to spend public funds on promoting anti-German art. Anti-German art is German art that doesn't want to be German. German art is art that sees itself as German art. If it doesn't want to be German, if it's directed against its own identity, if it denigrates Germany, portrays Germany disparagingly, as is unfortunately the norm among many left-wing cultural figures, then it's not art that should be promoted according to our standards. It's that simple.
In our federal system, this means that the arts and culture are really endangered. We all know that what we do, from theatres to museums to libraries, is paid for with taxpayer money. And it's important that everyone pays with their taxes. It wouldn't exist otherwise.
Bauhaus. This iconic school of design and architecture was founded in Germany in the early 20th century. Bauhaus aimed to revolutionize design through a radical vision of modernity, and it continues to influence architects and designers around the world to this day. And many Bauhaus fans travel to Dessau in Saxony-Anhalt because of this landmark.
I just love the aesthetic of it.
It's a precious treasure, and we value learning about it, looking to the past and being amazed at just how modern it already was back then.
I think it's something to be proud of if you're German. You can see the new trends that were set here, trends that are still relevant today and that continue to truly inspire people.
But the AfD denigrates this global success story, claiming it doesn't represent Germany distinctly enough.
Bauhaus stands for deracination and dislocation of architecture. The stated goal of the Bauhaus is that a building should no longer reveal where it was built. Industrial construction, prefabricated parts, form follows function. Building the same structures all over the world, that's the Bauhaus. The architecture of globalization, of the anywheres, but we're the party of the somewheres. In 1932, Dessau became a key early stronghold for the Nazi Party through major electoral gains. The Bauhaus school left the city and moved to Berlin before finally closing in 1933 under the Nazis' political pressure. The AfD strongly rejects comparison to the Nazis, yet in its attacks against Bauhaus, the far-right party regularly adopts the language used in Hitler's propaganda. Like the AfD, the Nazis denounced the school's modernist approach and designs as un-German and soulless. DW reached out to the AfD for comment on this topic, but the party didn't respond. Barbara Steiner clearly sees similarities in the terms they use.
It's very striking that the wording is very similar. The terminology is very reminiscent of the past, and I don't think that's a coincidence. The first campaign by the AfD directed against the Bauhaus had the headline, "The Misguided Path of Modernism."
The misguided path of modernism was the term coined by Bauhaus adversary Paul Schütze-Naumburg in his racially ideological treatise Art and Race.
And now there's this latest campaign, Think German. The term Think German comes from Adolf Hitler's 1938 Reichenberg speech. So these are no coincidences, and that is why we believe there is a deliberate link between the past and the present, which poses a challenge for us.
As the AfD pushes its nationalist campaign, cultural organizations are actively opposing the right-wing populist party's influence through various initiatives.
Diversity, artistic freedom, freedom of expression are all things that are very important to us as cultural institutions and artists. We wanted to highlight that with this statement, launched as an initiative by all institutions and people in the state of Saxony-Anhalt, who wish to emphasize our commitment to this artistic freedom, no matter what right-wing populist voices in society say or where they want to lead us.
In its cultural policy program, the AfD is also accusing theaters of staging too many international plays or of focusing too much on diversity and Holocaust remembrance culture. Sabine Schramm is unsettled by the party's plans.
Of course, as a cultural practitioner, I see this as very restrictive. It hinders me, or it would hinder me greatly, in my work and in my approach with my team. That's how I view it, especially as it comes to artistic freedom, and to everything we convey here in the theatre. And for me, theatre also has a lot to do with taking a stand. For me, that's precisely what makes theatre so special. That's where its power lies, because in theatre we always put things in perspective.
For example, one of the theater's recent productions deals with the Holocaust. What the rhinoceros saw when it looked to the other side of the fence tells the story of a zoo right next to the Nazi concentration camp Buchenwald. It's an allegory on how Germany collectively turned a blind eye to the horrors of the Holocaust and on the power of civil courage.
Das ist doch nur der Schornstein auf der anderen Seite des Zauns.
All of this is also what our stories are about. And here in this theatre, we don't do things any differently before the election than we will after it. Ultimately, we tell stories from real life, including critical stories about war and conflict, but also how peace can emerge. I won't remain silent when art is exploited for political purposes, and above all, not when people are categorized based on their origin and affiliation.
The theater is currently showing an exhibition on the future of puppeteering created by university students, a symbol for a future that they hope will remain open to international collaboration and diversity.